Hi guys, and welcome to my channel where we talk about plant stuff, but you never know. So in today's video, I'm going to be telling you all about my ongoing propagations and showing you, of course, them as well. I have propagated some of the same plants in different mediums. So let's say Plant Acc I have propagated in Leca, and I have also propagated a different cutting of that same plant in water. So we're going to be able to compare as well. This is my plant propagations tray. I tried to have all of my props on here. There are not many, but I'm pretty sure this video is going to be pretty long. So let's hope I'm not going to babble a lot. Okay, so plants that I have propagated are my black velvet alocasia, my Hoya Carnosa crimson queen, my golden pothos, and my Syngonium albo. If you're interested in seeing my propagations and comparing their growth in several different mediums, then let's go. Okay, so we're gonna start off with my Syngonium albo. I took some cuttings out of my newly bought Syngonium and I propagated them. So I took 3 cuttings at that time. One had already been rooted, so I propagated it in soil. It had a leaf, but it was a new leaf that hasn't furled yet. But unfortunately, I felt like it was gonna die, so I just chopped it off and kept this in hopes that it will make it. So that's my first one. I honestly have no clue what's going on in there so far, and I don't want to bother it because I think it's in a very delicate situation right now. So I had my other 2 cuttings propped in water. This is one of them, and you'll know why in a second. I put them both in water, but for a week they weren't doing anything. As you can see, this is still in water and it's been more than a week, maybe 2, and it still hasn't done anything, like nothing, and it has 2 nodes. So what I did a few days ago was I moved one of the stem cuttings to sphagnum moss, and I left for a 2-day vacation. I came back, I swear it was just a stem, and I came back to find baby leaves, which a baby leaf, I don't know if you can see, I will insert photos as well. 2 baby leaves. So this is amazing, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be moving this one to moss 2 or perlite. I have it closed with the cling wrap to keep the humidity in there, to keep it all moist and nice. So these are my 3 current Syngonium propagations. And obviously this one still hasn't done anything for me. This had a leaf, but I said that. I cut it off because it was starting to die, and I thought, that's it for my Syngoniums. Okay, moving on to my Hoyas. In August, I'll insert the exact date below. I took some cuttings out of my Hoya Carnosa because it's so precious, and in case anything happens to it, knock on glass, I would have a backup plant. And plus, I'm traveling to Beirut soon, and my sister wants a Hoya, and she can't find it there, so I'm Hoya Carnosa crimson queen. So I'm gonna be taking some cuttings as well for her with me, which, by the way, I'm gonna be propagating more of it because I need a backup for me and some cuttings for her as well. Anyway, so August, I took out some cuttings from my Hoya Carnosa. One I propagated in Leca with a bit of water, like a quarter of the way, if you can see, in water, and the rest in Leca. Oh my god. One in Leca and the rest in water. And let me tell you, I mean, I haven't checked on the roots. I haven't removed this one out of the Leca yet, so I don't really know what's going on in there. But I mean, you can see here, there's a root showing. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there's a root right here. And then there's this that was in water. Let me remove it out of the Look at those roots. Look at those roots. It's crazy. They have grown like crazy. It's been what, a month now? Maybe more than like a month and a week maybe. Anyway, so yeah, these are my current Hoya propagations. Oh, and yesterday I also took out like a pink cutting out of it as well. Anyway, it was starting to revert back to green. It was purely pink. I don't know what's going on with my Hoya. I kind of shocked her when I repotted her as soon as I got her. They never learn, do they? So yeah, I took a cutting as well. That was just yesterday. It has 2 nodes on it, and propped it in the water. That's the Hoya. Oh, I'm gonna get, should I do it now with you guys? I'm gonna actually take some new cuttings as well so I can propagate it for myself. I think I'm gonna take these for my sister. Okay, so here is my Hoya, my precious Hoya. I don't know why though, this side of the plant is kind of looking yellower than this side. Oh, I mean this side is looking yellower than this side. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna take 2 cuttings out of the green stuff seeds and a cutting out of the pink or the white. I'm just gonna take out some random cuttings, okay. I don't want to, she's so pretty. I don't wanna do that. I'm just gonna cut below the nodes. All right, we got 4 good nodes on, 5 nodes on this one, and then clean cutting. No, it's okay. It's a sacrifice you gotta do. Uh-oh. The gooey stuff. Boop. Actually, I'm just gonna cut off this part from the top. It has no nodes. It's useless. All right. Now we got a cute little stem. I think I'm gonna change. I'm not gonna keep them in this one. It's too wide and they're just gonna float. But for now, let's just pretend like this is perfect propagation. I think that's enough because it's not that trailing. It's not that long yet. Okay, and I can probably, okay, خلاص. She never shuts up. Moving on to my allocations, my baby allocations. So, the allocations. I was repotting my black velvet as soon as I got her. As I was repotting, I found these little things that I had to Google to find out that they were bulbs that you can plant, propagate, and get full plants out of. And so I did. I had 5 bulbs. I put 3 in Leca and 2 in water. I used for the water propagations the shallow puddle method. So it was a battle of who's gonna give me a cute plant first. And sure enough, the water wins. It's no longer in water now. We'll get to that in a second. At first, the Lecas were the winners. I mean, both were growing very slowly. I could barely witness any growth, and they were just bleh. That's how they were. But the Leca was growing a bit faster. I was noticing some changes, but it was very, very slow, but still faster than the water one. I put them in my propagation station and I just forgot about them. A month later, I come in to check on them, maybe less, I don't know. And the water ones have taken over. They have rooted like crazy. And the Leca had just, out of 3, 1 was showing major growth. The water one was growing like crazy. I will insert a picture here. Later on, the ones that were in water, I found in one of the bulbs like some black spots. So I kind of freaked out, thought it was rotting. Still not sure if it was rotting or that's what they start to look like as they mature. But I freaked out. I didn't want it to die. I'm in love with baby alocasias, and I wanted a baby alocasia for my bigger alocasia to take care of. So I just directly took it out of the water and I moved her to Perlite. And let me tell you, it was the same day I moved the Syngonium one to moss. 2 days later, not even 2 days later, I came back to find a full-on leaf beginning to unfurl, and that was yesterday or 2 days ago. And this is what it looks like now. And I can cry. It's a leaf. So my advice and there's a baby leaf coming out of it as well. I don't know if you can see that. My advice to you when it comes to the alocasia, use the shallow puddle method, and when they start to root, then move them to Perlite and they will take off in Perlite. Let me tell you, I need to blow my nose. As for the Leca one, look at the roots here. There's 3 potential leaves. The other 2, they haven't done anything. One of them looks like it's trying to, but the other nothing at all. I love both methods, the water and the Leca for alocasia, but I definitely am leaning more towards the water one myself because it was just faster. I just wanted to add that I prefer the water method as well over the Leca method because you are more guaranteed to see results using the water method compared to the Leca method. 2 out of 2 of my propagations rooted and grew using water, whereas only 1 out of 3 worked in Leca. I propagated 2 in water. 1 I moved to the Perlite because it was kind of rotting, and the other I left in water. I forgot to tell you guys about that. And this is what it's doing. Yeah. I will probably move it to Perlite in a week as well. I'm just waiting on it to grow more prominent roots. That's it for the Black Velvet Alocasia. We will be moving on to my Golden Pothos. So I do not own a Golden Pothos, but the story is I was apartment hunting with my cousin and there was this beautiful, I think it's a Golden Pothos by the way, I'm still not sure if it's a Golden Pothos or not. There was this beautiful Golden Pothos in the entrance of the building that she was checking out, and I just stared in awe, being the plant-obsessed plant mom that I am. And then the guy that works there was very kind to cut out cutting and give it to me. I got it, I put it in water, in a water bottle, because I was sleeping over at her place, and I left it there till the next day. I came home and I propagated 1 I left in water and the rest I propagated in Perlite. Okay, so as for the Perlite propagations, we have, I don't know if you can see them, but I mean here, look at this one. And here. I mean, she definitely is rooting kind of fast, honestly. As for the water one, here we go. This is our root. It had 1 node, and that 1 node gave us this. Okay, so I guess that's it. These are my current ongoing propagations, my prides and my joys. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were able to get something out of it, to see the difference between different mediums and decide for yourself as to what you would prefer to do. Okay guys, so if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to subscribe and I will see you soon. Bye!